like super dressy.
I would
Do I
literally.
bring up other things?
Like,
Yes.
If I wanted to, I would wear a suit. I'm
Don't
not
close
afraid to
that.
wear a suit. I would wear a suit. Otherwise, I just wear a button up with a tie and then a jacket on with jeans.
I revealed video into the drive.
This one here.
She said,
I'll just do like an incognito window or
Something about
whatever.
who's pitching coming up?
Pardon me?
You said something about who's doing their pitches
Orange,
coming
yeah,
up?
that'll work.
Or-
That works.
Yeah,
I was
so
just gonna
you've
click on
got
it
new
here.
materials that you're
basically
showing. You just want to go ahead and load those on there now.
Okay.
Or bring them up on a separate window so you can access them.
No.
Let's see, and then the agendas are available.
I mean, that's it, right?
Bitches,
Yeah,
so go
that's it. It's all in one video, right? Cool.
Call, but you'll make the instructions yourself.
I'd like to nominate my team photos and stuff, right? And then set the announcement to next. Are you here again?
no, this is my literally last semester.
What you don't want to do is close anything.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make it
Oh, I
back
know.
for tonight.
I will just open up a new tab.
I close it.
You'll have to go incognito.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign out on this account.
Yeah, I know. Sucks.
Alright.
So right up here, new incognito window. Yeah.
Well, it's something I have the hard copy on the desktop for the video that I did. Yeah, I have YouTube. It's on there as well. But the bill, did you want me to see the thing?
We're gonna do that. Yeah, talk about
Okay.
so
Are you doing just
Yeah, just incognito.
yeah.
excuse me.
Yep.
Turn this sucker on.
And we should be good to go. So when people start presenting, just click on the scene up above, which is can't remember what it's called, but it's the screencast plus webcam.
I have no idea what you're talking about. But okay. I could pretend just be like,
Yeah, it's
Sure.
All right, so okay, we got these scenes.
Yeah.
It's currently on the stage cam only.
Okay.
Screencast plus webcam. Click there. Done.
Okay.
And
that's for presentations.
yeah, exactly. And then just minimize it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And actually, the demo guy, he goes over like 5 minutes came off.
Just kick me off stage. Make sure you point though.
I haven't seen Harlem yet either.
Okay, well, hopefully he'll get here soon.
Are you aware? Also, did you get my email about the issue with the postmortem?
Yeah, several people wrote me. I don't know why, whatever.
Yeah. If there's no, it's something that's happened before where the online emails I've dealt with. But yeah. Most people are posting it everywhere.
I know. We'll find. I'll hopefully be able to find them all.
Mine's in the sprint log. That much I can tell you.
Okay.
And I also emailed it you to as well.
Okay.
Just to make sure. Yeah, I did it. It's here.
Yeah, I'll be a little more lenient in where it comes from folks.
Yeah, I attached it to my sprint log this week. I was like, okay, here's the hours I did. At the bottom, here's the document.
That's cool. That's actually a pretty good idea. I'll just maybe I'll announce something like that if people want to do that to be sure that I get it.
Yeah. And currently, I'm just I know Harley did a video. That much I recall.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't know if it's on his YouTube page or not.
Will you have a way to contact him?
I
Check where he is.
I have his phone number, but I don't remember which number it is. I forgot to label it.
You want to just download it? Just download the PDF onto the computer. Just put it on the. It's probably better just to download because we're gonna have a lot of people signing in into their accounts.
Accounts. Oh my god, just sign in to another account.
Eric, are you twiddling today?
Yeah, I probably should.
Okay, yeah, because I'm out of here. Twiddle D. Because I gotta get twiddle down.
I think I just need to do the intro.
God damn it. Okay, hold on. Let me.
And running clear.
It's,
sure you-
we're gonna have to sign in.
Because I have
Retry.
watching the shop right
Oh my god. Why? Oh my.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, here's the key. So screw it.
I'll just exit out of that.
So, yeah, I just wanted to ask to see where we wanted to build. If anything, I'll email you.
I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to the awards ceremony.
So I can just share it to
I
you.
won't know until Monday.
That way you can just.
I might have
I have it.
Am I still?
Like,
Go ahead and you can sign me out. Okay.
I don't know what just happened.
That's
Whatever.
Robots with an iPad on it.
Oh my god. It just,
well, that'll just get you that way there's
I don't know. I mean, they haven't contacted
Hey, how are you?
flat 700
Let me.
Join us.
I can't.
Yeah.
So
Let me try through mine.
I'll just link it.
Everything's just breaking.
All right, Liz, if you have not downloaded your information, please do so right now.
Everything is just breaking.
It's screaming and pain and agony.
So like last time I got on
Please, Harper, please, let it be on your YouTube account.
Yeah, it's on the guys.
Okay, oh yeah, I just want to make sure because like last time like we did save our MVP, but then no one else had, so then you moved over it. So I just so this is just top artist, top program, top designer, and then MVP. Okay, and then is there a way for Ben?
I don't know.
You can actually log in. We're doing that. Is this going to be
my spot.
Go ahead.
Is that what you're looking for? Were you able to get your hands on yours?
Yeah, we got it.
That's
It's just for some stupid reason. There are just too many different accounts.
weird.
Yeah. Okay. We got it one.
Cool. I just need to download mine and make sure it has access to YouTube.
All right.
There you go, bud.
Sweet. Thanks, brother.
Can I get a long version?
And actually, maybe the long version since you're on ground for them.
Just understand that our long version is just a suggestion of what we do.
It's never acted like that.
We change stuff on the fly.
I've learned that.
I'm already crossing stuff off. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Alright, I'm just chance, but we are recording, and I think it is a stream also, so just hang out here, you're gonna get that going.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, can you just message me out?
Just send you.
Hey, what's up?
I was looking for your phone number because I didn't see you yet.
Yes. I just got here.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Just make sure you have your
Like, can you give me the link?
picture.
I was like,
Okay.
yes, Ben. I'll get you the link.
I gave him back that responsibility.
Or.
Yeah.
And the order's over there. We're number 6, I believe. The presentations.
Okay.
Yeah, we have no, number 5. No wait.
Never
Number
mind.
6.
Number 6. I was
Cool.
looking on the bottom part of this.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know if you look up oddly Greenlight, you can find it pretty.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, we're not.
Up there it
you
is.
go. Yeah, we're not popular
You're not
enough.
very high up there in the search view.
That was 10 minutes ago. So
That's a bummer.
huh.
Nice.
That's awesome. How'd you do that?
Yeah, the only thing that's beating us is You Are My Sunshine, and
You Ignore my sunshine.
And Johnny Cash. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this in Firefox because people keep signing into Google on the incognito window, which kind of defeats the purpose.
Okay, just take your name off this.
Everybody be scared. We're going to remove Bobo Pump from the presentation.
I really appreciate that. Where's the Thanks, guys.
Oh, there.
You graduated from either way, most of the problems are
So hopefully no one messes with Firefox and signs me out of that.
Oh, yeah.
we have to stand in certain places.
Yes. So we've got, actually, where's Kent? He was going to start the recording for us. Oh, right, he already did it for us. So come here and I'll show you what's going on
Where's
here.
Kent?
He's already started it.
Oh yeah, you can see it as long as you're in front of the stage.
So I'm going to turn up the lights a little bit here, but not so hot over the stage so they can see a little bit better in the recording.
Yeah, makes sense.
And just tell them as they pitch, they need to close their window or minimize their window, but be very careful not to close any of their windows. All right. If you are a lead and you're pitching today, please come forward for a few minutes. We'll give them information. Do you have an agenda?
Yeah, I have one of these fancy double-sided ones.
Thank you.
Hi. You're not pitching anymore
We're not
today.
pitching anymore.
You have one.
Is it just this?
What's
Or is there
that?
more? Are we just grabbing this, or is there more?
There's, if you did not get one of those down there,
Tell
take
them
that
about the
too.
window thing.
Yeah. All right, anybody else? Sorry, I thought I gave you one. Leads, does everybody have a long version of the agenda? You have one? Okay.
Get your own.
Here, I actually need your copy. George?
Information of it.
You're judge.
How you finish it. What you're gonna do next turn.
All right, cell phones off, please. Make sure those are off. As we work through today, I want to make sure that you guys know where your cameras are. So we have a camera up here, we have a camera here. So make sure that you're staying behind the podium or just to the side so the lights hit you and you can be heard very clearly. Speak clearly because that's really important in these recordings. We are recording it. Can everybody hear me? Come on up. Did you get...
No, you're good. You can sit down.
Get one up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Not awake yet.
Okay. All right, 5 to 7 minutes maximum. Please don't go over. We've got 12 titles pitching this morning. And so it's going to be absolutely critical that you stick to the agenda. And make sure that you are excited, exuberant, speak clearly, because this is being recorded and it probably will go to media to try to get the word out about your game. Those of you who've been around know that. All right, so we're going to do some announcements first. We're going to tell it like it is, how we operate here, and then we're going to lead into the pitches. Your part is making sure that you are ready to go, and you everybody keeps it snappy. You're up to the podium, and you're pitching just immediately after each other. So that's the list in order. If you can't see it, make sure you know where you stand and you're following the right person. Anybody have any questions?
One question. Can we have more than one person up here?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Kind of makes it more interesting too.
Be careful, don't minimize that window. That's what you're doing the recording.
Yes. Don't minimize or close any windows.
Nobody's slogging you out.
I don't know. Sometimes things happen, right?
Yeah, let's try not to do that.
So wait, the OBS window we can't minimize?
Yeah.
You can minimize it.
I'm going to go ahead and put it down here. You just, yeah, don't close it.
Okay.
All right. And sometimes other people's windows get closed. Just don't close anything. Just minimize it to be safe so that we can keep the pace up. All right. Thank you. Garrett, take it away.
Laura needs to leave before 1. So for the team photos, I'm going to ask people to do that once we finish this, but before they go for lunch break. Just come up and she'll take pictures.
Okay.
You're
I know
taking
how
this?
to do it without the certificate.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do it then too. We can have our own photos later.
Okay, time to start. I'm already breaking the rules. You're supposed to stand over here. Welcome to the pitch component of today. So we'll do a couple announcements and we're going to try to get right into the pitches here as soon as we can. First off, you got to turn your cell phones off and all those nice things. So that the people presenting don't get interrupted by Mario tunes or whatever the weirdness. That would be Matt's. Remember, tonight 6 to 8 is the celebration component of today. So the final projects or the projects that ran over the spring will be showing what they accomplished. So a few different little things. We'll start off with my standard plug for social media. If you haven't joined our social media channels by now, we don't like you. You're dead to us. Twitter is up to almost 2,200 followers, so we're doing good there. Our big pushes are Facebook is screaming up on 500, I think. And I think we're getting close. We're in the 80s or 90s for YouTube. I think we have to get to 100 before we unlock some perks. So if you haven't followed those channels, do so. Do so often through multiple accounts. When Twitter started, I think the first 8 were like my family and stuff like that. I know the first 100 followers for our Facebook accounts were on my friends list, so get them involved. Okay, so today we've got a few things we want to plug. Is Ashley here? Is Ashley here? No. So the Academy is still running. Ashley is taking that over. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to her. What is the plan for this next group? The next thing? For the Academy, what are you guys working on next?
The Academy is a group that was formed a number of years ago. And Ashley Donovan, I don't know how many of you know Ashley, she's an alum. She has come back to manage the Academy. So now they're having weekly events to help grow your skills. It's a great mentoring opportunity, an opportunity to learn new skills you may not learn in the classroom. Anybody here take part in the art jam? Ryan, can you speak to that? Just
There was a couple small teams that got together. The theme was weapons. They had 48 hours to make a finished art piece. Not a functional game, but it's the same concept of a game jam, just doing art. Worked pretty well. It was a really nice final piece at the end.
Yes, I can attest to that. I was watching from your string band, and you guys do incredible work. A lot of upperclassmen there that can help noobs, so we want to get everybody in there and start working together, the artists.
Thanks, Lynn. Other things that are worth plugging. One of the things that we're going to start pushing a little bit more is trying to get you guys to do some more experimental style of gaming. Experimental games, winning competitions, and winning competitions is good for you. From that standpoint, we have a whole room. It's a glass room over there with all kinds of cool technology in it that you can make games with, like brainwave stuff and augmented reality and virtual reality. And we're always adding new stuff to that room. We're working on a HoloLens right now. We're trying to get a HoloLens on. I've been talking to a friend of mine in Microsoft who wants to bring his team over and show, what they do, and he's been developing on it for, I think, the last year or something like that. So we're working on getting that in there. I have one at my house right now that is a completely augmented reality. It looks like if you go to the eye doctor and they give you those big ugly glasses, it's a big plastic version of that, but you can see through it. And it's got its own little self-contained operating system that you put in your pocket and walk around with. So start thinking about things like that for your game ideas, because those are just cool. Plus everybody is VR, AR, gaga right now anyway. Anybody go to GGC? Like half the show floor was VR. It was insane. So keep that kind of stuff in mind. Let's see what else is on this list. Talked about Facebook, internet, internships. Game Job Fair. So May 13th will be the Game Job Fair as we start the term back up. This is an opportunity to recruit 2 projects, road projects, get people on your team that aren't necessarily in the studio classes. So it's kind of a combination of both. I can tell you from the numbers I'm seeing for the summer, the actual number of participants within the studio will be down from our past terms. This is common. Our summer terms tend to be a little bit smaller. We're probably going to cap out at about 50, which brings me to another just little thing for the people who are pitching today. It is very, very important, if you haven't included this in your presentation already, to make sure to give us an idea of what you need to complete as far as people, like artists, programmers, designers, because I have a list of what we have right now, and I can compare against that and make sure that it can meet your needs through what we do. So be thinking about that when you're doing a presentation. If you're like, hey, we've got all of our, I'll use one that probably isn't true. We got all of our art done, we just need programmers. It's probably the opposite, but we'll just go with that. I think Matt's got his taken care of.
We do. They needed a programmer. We got it.
Okay, so before we get into a video, you want to do that now? Let's do that now. Anybody know Demo? No. Demo has a video he'd like to show us, so let's do that, and then we'll launch into the pitches.
Good job, Derek.
Good job, Derek.
Tweet about it.
Yeah. Build those followers.
We'll get back to George.
Hi everybody, I am Mike Demo Densmore, president of Monster Vault Entertainment. Today I'm here to show you our latest build of Dungeons and Destroyers. We have actually implemented several new features, mostly the settings for the actual display. There's one thing that we've worked on, so you can actually go into 640, 1280, 920 by 1080 as well. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten full screen to work properly for this build, so it's not in here. This is basically the test of the test, so expect bugs and issues. For the most part, I show you in some of the new aesthetics, animations, and all kinds of other cool little goodies that we've gotten fixed and polished since our last build. So let's get right into it. Alright, well, welcome to the new test level. Primarily working on fixing a lot of the bugs of like animations, things like that, making sure everything is timed, sped up. Some of the animations for like the turrets, the spike traps, those haven't been implemented yet for this build because we are on time crunch. But we did, however,
add in damage hits for animations for both characters. Ulrich actually does a fire dance. Edmund, he actually, whenever he gets hit, he does take damage, so the bar still works. But we're not supposed to kill him. That's not how it works. So basically, Ulrich is still on defense, protecting Edmund from dying, even though I suck at this right now. Basically, the general layout of everything made everything a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, gave some variation. Some of the stuff that did make it into the build was the destructible pillars, so you can actually progress to the next level, but there isn't a next level as of a test level. So we didn't find that very crucial for this build. We wanted to kind of polish off the animations, the actual movements for the characters and the controls to kind of polish that off as a whole. The animations for the turrets, they do move in an X and a positive axis, so as it rotates, it kind of clicks, fires, shimmy, click, to kind of give it like a signature that it's actually going to move or about to move and then fire. So it gives the player a sense that it's actually going to attack at that point. We are still kind of working on particle effects for everybody as a whole, well, the traps as a whole, to kind of signify to the player that it's about ready to fire off. We are working on activation traps for sliding walls, things like that, but time was an issue. Other than that, that's pretty much the general layout. The rotation is still the same. Ulrich is still a little bit sluggish. We're looking at actually changing the actual speed of the characters as a whole to kind of keep it fast-paced so that players don't feel like they're kind of crawling through a dungeon crawler while solving puzzles. But we also did, wait for it, pause menu, holy cow. We kind of put in like their damage thing as they kind of dance in the purgatory of pause menu. You can still access the display menu from the pause menu. So you can still select all of these, although I don't want to keep changing the screen because it's very distracting. And then also, when we implement it, sound will actually be able to be a part of the settings. And then pause menu right back into it. But other than that, that's pretty much the current build. Aesthetics, animations, cool things, settings. Hey, we all love to screw around with our settings. Fix it. Sooner or later, I'd actually like to implement something.
Well then. I'll actually take it from here. So like I said, I am president of Monster Vault Entertainment. We are a local indie company. Lynn was actually asking me if I was actually taking applications or looking for people to actually recruit for the projects. Not currently, but that doesn't mean I'm not looking. I'm always looking for people to add to the project. We are moving very, very fast, so if you feel like you can't keep up, probably don't apply. We plan on releasing this game by summer of next year, and we actually have another game being released at the same time, probably a little bit earlier. Sean Burke, he's still going to be around. If you need to contact me, I do have, here, let me pause this and put the info right here. We are on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, although I didn't have the YouTube channel, and we have a website. You can get in contact with me via email. It goes straight to my phone, so I will look at it right away. If you are interested, I am looking for a fast and effective 3D modeler, texturer. We use Substance Painter version 2. So if you have skill in that area, making actual textures, you have a idea on how to use normals, bump maps, world lighting, all that other stuff. That's always a big plus. Other projects are always a big plus because I like to see your work. If you are applying, just a brief resume and a link to your portfolio so I can look over it as well. But other than that, we are on Twitch as well. You'll catch us at Monster Vault on Twitch. And we stream every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. So we'll be doing it tonight as well. But other than that, Thanks for your time, guys.
Thanks, Mike. I will endeavor to work purgatory of pause menu into my everyday vocabulary from now on. I like that. Okay, on to the main event here. So, UAT Game Studios. UAT Game Studios is a concept that a number of instructors here at UAT came up with years and years and years ago, and it serves an actual purpose. The purpose is to get you guys involved in productions that act like a production. As we talk to people in the industry and people who offer you guys jobs in gaming, most of the time we get feedback that says, yes, their technical skills are awesome. They know how to animate, they know how to program, they know how to do all the things that tech people know how to do. But they don't work well together, or they don't collaborate, or their communication sucks. And so we saw this gap in that while you can do in-class projects and you can do stuff and work together in small teams, actually putting a studio-style environment where you have to do the things that are going to be expected of you became a priority. And so years and years and years ago, a bunch of us started thinking about this and trying to figure out a way to mimic that. That's when UAT Game Studios was truly born. What are we at, 6 years ago at this point? In the last couple of years, 2 years, the current team has taken it into the next evolution, and we're looking at even evolutions beyond that. A couple of plans that we have running right now. First thing, which is if you've been in the studio classes, you may have heard rumors or wind of this. I think Ben's probably mentioned it. We are going to start publishing a catalog of type of games that we want to do on a term-to-term basis. So we're going to say, I have 3 mobile slots and 2 experimental slots and a AAA slot, or I'm just making those things up. We don't know what they're going to be. So start thinking about that. We're going to start steering you guys towards things that will be of high benefit to you. As always, it's my job to embarrass the current people at the school. We'll go from most important to George. I'm Derek. If you haven't met me. I've been around the school in one capacity or another forever. I think it's my 15-year return to UAT anniversary at this point. 23 total years over the different years. By order of, we'll say, importance, we've got Lynn. Lynn is the heart and soul of the game program. She does a whole bunch of awesome work, and then I stand up here and take credit for it. That's how our relationship works, and it's awesome. God, technically, you're next, aren't you? Yeah, we'll skip that. Let's go to Matt. We've got a Matt. Everybody needs at least one Matt. We have 2, so we had to rename one of them. But Matt does art and design for us. If you don't know Ben at this point and you're in these classes, you should probably show up a little bit more often. Ben works hard not only to coordinate the production that we do here, but also to coordinate the Phoenix area game development. He's a good guy to know. One thing that UAT and Game Collab are trying to do is to make Phoenix a place where game development happens. It is at the indie level. It's not at the AAA level. The analogy I've been using for a long time is game development in the Valley. You want it to be like a mall where you've got a lot of boutique shops that do really, really cool things, but you still need your Sears and you need your JCPenney's and you need these big anchor stores. And that's what we're trying to attract to the Valley, is to get some of these bigger studios back. We've had that in the past. It's just currently not the way it is. A quick little story. We were talking, commencement's obviously coming up, and we were talking about, hey, it would be nice to have somebody we could do a quick interview with that does AAA gaming. And we're like, we have a whole giant list, not one of them in the Valley, because AAA gaming just isn't here yet. So that's something we're definitely working on. Hiding up in the top, we've got Hugh, the other Matt. So he is much like me. He does the true game design and programming. Matt does fluffy art game design. We don't understand it. But if you want systems development and Excel work, you come and talk to us. We know what we're doing.
That's it. All right.
I think that's it, yeah. Wizard George. Since he tried to get me, I'll get him back. George is another one of our great game artists who launches many game art careers here at UAT. through his enthusiasm in GEA 110. And I'm sure he does some other things, but we can't think of anything else. So. Posters. Yeah, and he makes posters. If you need a poster made, ask George. He loves to make posters. Free. That's right. Rumor is he's going to make a poster for me so I can get a free pass to Comic-Con, which is awesome. Thanks, George. I know, you haven't heard yet. You got to make 3 posters.
Now it's 3.
Now, my wife needs a pass, so we need a 3rd poster. Yeah, Comic-Con's coming up as well, so make sure you get that. All right, I think I hit on most of the things that UAT Game Studios stands for. Again, if you're not following our social media, please do. But we do want to be a connector. I foresee UAT Game Studios kind of in 3 pillars. There's the educational pillar, right? That's why we're here. We are a school. There is the incubator, let's launch companies pillar. Locally, there's probably 6, 7 indie game studios running that kind of were born out of what we did here, which is really, really awesome to see. And then there's the let's publish, let's make games, let's compete, and that kind of pillar, which is one we're kind of working on. Currently, we really stress the launch you guys and let you guys build games, but we're looking into some other things there as well. All right, I think that's enough of me talking. So I believe Mir, if you want to start heading this direction, is our first presenter. So as a reminder, what we're doing here is pitching for next term. I've pulled the list. I know what I have for capacity over the summer. I can tell you it most likely is not going to be 10. We are running 10 projects this term. We have less people available. And so again, please let us know what you need because we'll try to get that information down and align our resources accordingly. I believe we've got 8 existing projects and 3 new projects, which is definitely good to see. So I think we're going to turn it over to Ben to run this part so I can tweet.
You just said everything.
We want to
talk about the collab's involvement in Comic-Con and what they're offering.
So thanks, guys, and let's see some pitches and then.
So just before they all get started, I just wanted, Derek mentioned Game Collab and some of the things, obviously, you've been in the classes I've been talking about them. But the Arizona Video Game Showcase, we're going to be doing that at Phoenix Comic-Con again. Get involved. If you want a booth, let us know. Come some nights, we're going to have a booth. Yay. And then also, if you're going, make sure you check out panels. There's going to be a panel from some of the leads here, from some of the projects. Tyler, what day again is the panel?
It's Thursday, June 2nd, between 1 and 2 p.m.
Between 1 and 2 p.m. on Thursday. Cool. So yeah, come for those. Thursday, we're going to have a couple other panels, one on getting into games. So there might be some people up there that you know. And then also we're going to have another one on the Arizona video game industry. So we'll have some folks from some of the studios also up there at the same time. Right now, it's a really cool time. Our kind of theme is kind of resurgence, kind of reforging of the industry here in Phoenix. Derek mentioned kind of bringing bigger folks into town, and some of that's kind of happening. Rainbow Studios is back, and they're growing, and they're going to be looking for people to hire. I invited them to come this evening. It's on our calendar, so hopefully they end up showing up. And then the other big one that moved here from New York is Eli Media. They're just coming off the tail end of a successful game called Never Alone. So that last I heard about a month ago made $40 million in profit. So they'll be here today actually at 3 o'clock and doing an orientation of a game jam that I talked about before. The trick this time is, so I had some things that I had to talk to them more about it. There's actually only a limit of 16 people that can be part of that game jam. So if you really want to be part of that game jam, make sure you get there at 3 o'clock. If we have more than 16, I don't know, we'll have to do some duels or fighting it out or throwing dice or something. I don't know, figure out how we're going to whittle it down to 16. But it's a really cool opportunity to work directly with them. I think that's about it right now. Basically, if you want to know more about the industry, let me know. Oh, and the last thing, survey. We just did a survey of the industry here again. We had 29 companies, developers, folks respond to that survey. So we have a really good pulse again of where the industry is. And I did the same survey 2 years ago, so I can compare it to then. And revenues have all gone up from teams. The needs are still there. Artists being number 1, programmers being second, and designers third. So if you guys are interested in the local scene and wanting to know more about that, let me know. We'll be putting more publications together on that. And I might throw a few statistics in this evening's presentation as well. So yeah, so we're growing, and if you want to do stuff here, internships, things like that, it's a good time to do that. But I'll let you guys get on with it. Again, speaking of positions, I'll reiterate what Derek said. Tell us what you need now. It's going to be a big part of if we accept you or not, because we know, hopefully, Derek has it. We have a list of what we actually have, and we want to make sure that you get something out of it, because I know some of the teams are returning because they didn't quite get what they needed this semester. So let's not let that happen again. So yeah, so give us some good pitches and let us know what your needs are. Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm Desiree Nienhouse.
And I'm Kathy Norris.
Ben Pope is actually the lead of Mirrored, but we're his co-leads, so we're representing him today because he lives in Colorado now. So,
I don't know what the sound is, so let's try it.
Let's do that.
Hey everyone, I'm Ben Pope, CEO of the game. Mirrored the Reflective Resolution is a game that has been in development for over a year in conjunction with UAT Game Studios. Mirrored follows the story of a girl named Lily and her cat companion Logos as she deals with the traumatic loss of her parents and has to work through her life to transition through gameplay and story. The game features a parallel mirrored universe where Lily has to fight her inner demons. Lily's experiences in the mirrored world are a catalyst for resolution. The game has evolved considerably over the past year. The game's development has gone through many iterations, and we've landed on a style that we're really excited about. This semester, we focused on building upon our game foundation we established in the fall. Finally, mirrored levels and monsters are being created. The school interior has been completely redesigned, giving our first concepts for the mirrored world's look and feel. We can finally showcase a darker theme to the game, which sets the basis for future levels. We've had a vision for our 3D collectible level, and it's finally coming together. The attic level has been integrated into the game with updated models. The grandfather clock will be the location for the gears the player collects throughout the game, and the entire clock is fully animated, showing off the gears behind the clock face. So much more 3D has been worked on, and we're looking forward to adding them and new game features next semester. Lack of gameplay and story were issues in the past that we remedied this semester. We added an exploratory quest chain that introduced the player to the base game mechanics and crucial NPCs. The final focus that really tied our game together was the completion of the intro cutscene sequence, which visually presents the backstory to the main character Lily and the game as a whole. Integrating the cutscenes into the game was a big step for us, and we've already started our final polishing stages for the art.
Thank you so much for watching, and here's our brand new trailer.
next semester, basically we just need artists and programmers again. We need probably more programmers this time because I believe, lost a few. And we need specifically storyboarding artists. We still have to put the finishing touches on our initial cutscene, and we have more cutscenes that we need to create. So if you're good at style matching, we definitely need you. And 2D pixel animators and artists, we still need environments done, creatures for both regular and mirrored worlds, and maybe some NPCs. So yeah, and then we also need a technical artist. So if you like that kind of thing, then we definitely need you. Our programmers are getting kind of tired of doing all of their stuff. And yeah, programmers, C# and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what we need. Thank you guys.
Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Cook. I am the team lead for The Deadliest War. Cool. So our project is a 2D side-scrolling puzzle game. The whole point of it is it's a world game, and it is meant to affect change in the world. So this is our team. So the goal of our game, we're meant to raise awareness for the conflict mineral wars that are happening in Central Africa through interactive gameplay and an innovative and interactive e-democracy system. So, video about what we have accomplished, we are really proud of. Over this semester, we started from scratch, and we created a lot, and we managed to do a lot. The team worked really hard on each and every iteration of our build. Police culture. So with where we started, that's where we came. And we got here because last semester, client SoSense Studios came and pitched a Greenlight and gave this great idea to us. We've taken it and created that. We have also had the opportunity and the chance to work with a cultural ambassador from the Congo, Beyonce. He's helped us to ensure that all of our dialogue and everything that we have implemented is culturally sound and works with everything that they have done. Everyone that has come in this semester and worked with us pretty much started from scratch, and they have had 15 full weeks of learning and gained so many skills. So next semester we are looking at moving from 2D to 3D. We're looking at creating 2 new and distinct worlds. and having a whole new dimension. What you saw was the real world, and we want to move into a new dimension known as the inner space, be more fantastical and different. We want to have more puzzling and more adventure. So what do we need to make this happen? We need 3D artists. Right now we only have 2 artists on our team. We're going to need a lot more to make this happen. We also need designers. We only have 2 on our team currently, so we're going to need a lot more level designers and designers that are able to make puzzles to make this happen. Our art style is mirroring that of Never Alone, so we're going to need that fantastical, really emotional art connection. And this is where you can follow our progress. Thank you.
Yeah, Crimson Knight.
All right, Kenny Ryan.
Kenny's gone.
Okay, Austin. Come on down from Mortal Coil.
No pitching. You're correct.
So no pitching?
We just wanted to give you another chance, just in case.
Still a great project. Good job.
Good job, guys.
Makes my life easier. One less I have to not select. No, I'll be honest, man. When we sit in the room, it's hard because there's usually more great projects than we can actually handle. So.
Do you have the PowerPoint on there, Len? I have the.
The one you sent me?
Yes.
Do you have it backed up?
Yep.
On your, you want it off of my email? Do you have it backed up?
Yeah, it's on my drive right here.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it off your drive.
Sure.
And then this is the back to you guys.
The middle?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, she turned it off. Trade secrets, man.
So, because, by the way, taking pictures is Lauren, in case you hasn't met Lauren, you don't know her, in marketing, thank you so much for all the stuff that you do. So, yeah, go around with applause. She helps push all the things that we're doing as a studio and what you guys are doing individually as well. One thing that I would really like to get before she has to go today is our group pictures. So after we do all of this, right now the pitching, before we go to lunch, let's do the group pictures in order of what we've kind of got here. And anything else, we'll do pictures later too, but I want to get her with her fancy camera to do those. So FYI, once we're done, don't run out. Instead, get ready and we'll get the teams lined up, take a picture, and go quick. So.
You done?
Go ahead, Austin.
All right. Yeah, go for it.
In the spirit of embarrassing Lauren, if anybody needs help on social media, this is the person to talk to. She taught me everything I know. So go and talk to Lauren if you want help on your social media. She'll make you famous, I swear.
Talk to her anyways. Tell her what you're doing.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
All right. So I've kind of been in the background this semester as a producer. So John's been graciously leading the team. John, since he is graduating, I'll be phasing in a little bit more, but John will still be around as well. So anyways, for anybody that doesn't know, my name is Austin Champ, and I'm the producer on Mortal Coil. And so if anybody doesn't know what it is, it's an asymmetric turn-based tactics game that pits the agile vampires against hulking Templars. It's built in Unreal Engine 4. We're working on a single-player campaign, and it's a future Steam release. Maybe. Let's do it from Slack, I guess. So this is some gameplay. As you can see, we have some. This is super loud. We have some excellent placeholder sounds. So what you're seeing here is combat through our first environment. So we have multiple different units on both sides, the vampires and the Templars, and each of them have their own abilities, attack powers, movement range, that kind of stuff. And the asymmetrical combat comes in because the vampires, while they're a lot weaker than the Templars up front, they use a stealth system to get bonus damage and to like climb up on these scaffolding and higher areas to kind of flank around the Templars because they're weaker at their backside. So that's the asymmetrical combat. So yeah, as you can see, we basically have an entire game functioning here. We've got dynamic units placement, so basically there's tons of replayability there and a lot of different tactics that you would be able to use. So each unit is assigned a point value, and then the map is assigned an army value. So say your army value is 1,000, you've got 1,000 points to work with building up your army, and you can kind of stack that however you want. So back to the presentation. All right, so as I was saying, it's near finished gameplay and functionality. So we've got pretty much all the function in there, all the gameplay systems that we need. We've got a couple small systems that need to be polished up, and then it's basically just bug fixing from here on out. And then it's been a really great semester for testing out our art. So we spent an entire semester getting an art pipeline down that basically mirrors Dota 2's art style. So we have a full texturing and modeling pipeline set up, and the first environment is done, which means that we have some modular environment pieces. So we're looking to get to 3 different unique environments spread out over 6 levels. And that's pretty easy to achieve now that we have these modular pieces, because there's only a few defining set pieces for those, and then the modular environment pieces are just retextured. And then, as you saw with our great placeholder sounds, we have audio and UI functionality in there, and again, just being polished up, so adding in final sounds and final UI. So our goals for this coming semester, we're looking for 6 to 8 character models, so that would be the unique models that are in the game, fully textured, animated, potentially with the animation packs that we have, so it could just be rigging actually. A polished UI, so we have a UI set out, and it just needs to be style matched and implemented. And then 5 new levels with use of the modular pieces, so that's 2 environments, totaling us to 6 levels with 3 environments. And then polished and bug-free gameplay, as I was saying, kind of polishing up the code. So this is the team that we currently have. Like I said, I'll be stepping in a little bit more this semester. John will still be around as a design lead, and then Brandon is our art lead. And then basically all we're looking for this semester is 2 or as many as we can get 3D character artists, and then potentially an animator. So if someone was looking to try out their basic animation skills, we're looking for someone to basically build a rig for us and get it to match up with the Unreal animations that we have. So this game is an approved SIP, so if anybody was still hanging out for a SIP, you could jump on this for that. The gameplay, as I said 100 times, is in polish phase, so you're basically jumping onto what is a finished game, and we're building out content now. We've got a committed senior team, so these guys are here cranking out 20-30 hours a week in crunch time. If you have any questions, as a younger developer, the guys are really good. They have tons of experience, and we will be shipping in fall. So if you're still around at that time, you will have a shipped title in your portfolio. And that's it. Thanks, guys.
Half these guys is done. We'll go to audit.
I thought I was right. I'm going.
I did mine in Firefox so people wouldn't mess with it. That was the pitch. now. Okay. Full screen. There we go. Okay, Firefox made it hard. Hello, my name is Donald Shepis. I'm the current team lead for Happy Skies, and I'm just going to go ahead and start playing our video so that way I can let our gameplay speak for me. Okay, so that was just a short couple of clips so you can see where we came from at the end of last semester and where we're going, and where we ended this semester. So, Happy Skies is a kid-friendly, mobile, side-scrolling adventure game. And the whole point of it is you're going around the world, seeing different unique landmarks, fighting off the enemies, and just trying to get as far as you can, interacting with the various landmarks we have in the background. So, at the start of this semester, we had flat levels, we didn't have a whole lot of enemies, we had very little engagement. We didn't have that polish that would make kids want to continue playing our game. But after this semester, we were able to spice up our levels, add animations, things to move and keep the attention of children. We added multiple enemies, so now there's a constant threat to the players, so they're constantly moving around, constantly playing, and we're engaging our players a significantly higher amount than we were previously. So, what do we need at this point? Well, we need art. Last semester, we didn't have a single on-ground artist, and that really hurt us. For a game like ours, we need art to be able to engage our players, to be able to catch the attention of children. So all we really need is one dedicated on-ground 3D modeler. All of our game is built through 3D models. It's flat, simple models that use materials to help keep our texture size down, and so that way our game will be under 50 megabytes. So that way we don't hit that wall of when you download on Android, it says, hey, you need to connect to Wi-Fi, or you need multiple download packs. And that's something that just kills people actually signing up and playing your mobile game. So we need to keep under that. So all we need is a single dedicated 3D artist that can create more environment assets for us, create more enemies for us, and also if they have a little bit of experience in making particle effects, that would also be amazing. Because as you saw, even just the simple addition of a wind swipe completely changed the way you viewed the game and made it a lot more easy to understand. It also made it a lot more interesting. And beyond that, at the end of that semester, we're going to have some other team members, so we only really need the artist, and everybody else is just going to be working on polishing the game, making it run better, making it more attractive. And at the end of next semester, or very soon after next semester, we will be releasing on Android and iOS. And besides polishing our game and getting the art in, all we have to do is market, try and build up a fan base, so that way we release to a crowd instead of no one, and then we'll release. So if anybody's interested in signing up for our beta program, we're going to have these little media cards that we're going to be passing around later. You can grab one of those, it'll take a QR code, you can sign up for the beta, and when we fully release, you'll get a notification, hey, Happy Skies is released, which should be at the end or very soon after next semester. So like I said, give us an artist and we'll release. That's all I want. Thank you.
That's it. Just this little thing. Just take a few pictures. Yeah, it's really make a tweet. Not a big deal. You tweet 7 times, take a picture. Good. Marketing's done. Pretty easy.
Good day. My name is Harlan Whitfield. I'm the project lead to Project Oddity, and this is the basic video.
Oddity. Oddity is a horror adventure game, focusing on storytelling and exploration. We play as a stranger in an odd town filled with broken people, controlled by eldritch horrors and supernatural phenomena. Our goal is to escape this town. How we try to escape is up to us. Do we pave our road to freedom in the blood of others? Or do we stay and try to help those trapped in this horrible world? Oddity's core mechanic is saving context data to change the game. As we play, Oddity will record character choices, emotions, and special variables. When we reload to previous save points or start new games, these shadow saves will change how the game reacts. Players can use this to their advantage, as their future choices could greatly influence past events that can be revisited through reloading to previous save files in the game. But this could also prove difficult, as manipulating the game this way could tip off enemies and mark the player as a freak to the other characters. Oddity has been in production for 2 semesters through UAT and its production courses. The first semester built the framework of the game, and the second semester was devoted to bug testing, refining the demo story, and world building. All that is left is finish putting the world together and fine-tune the game. Oddity hopes to have a playable demo soon.
So yeah, Oddity pretty much was my original SIP from a couple years back. I've graduated, come back and tried to make this game a reality. And it pretty much just started off with nothing but concept art and documentation. And over the first couple semesters, it's been narrowed down to the scope of a basic demo, which we hope to release soon. We pretty much have all the fundamentals in place to play. It's pretty much a point-and-click adventure game that has a mutating storyline. As pretty much all we need left are a couple artists to help me flesh out the rest of the world, and a few designers who want to test out their basic programming or art skills to help us just coordinate. Because most of the core mechanic is having a variety of elements and choices that, as you play the game, manipulate choices ahead of you as well as in the past. So, making friends with characters that you met early on throughout your first playthrough, you can actually reload within the same playthrough to get new options within the same timeline, and so forth. So, just a lot of managing that type of gameplay. But yeah, a lot of it's in place, and we hope to just make a basic demo to show off the story and go from there. And yeah, all I need is a programmer, maybe an artist or two, and maybe a designer. Yeah, that one. A designer or two. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And hope to see you later.
Kyrie. Alright, let's go on a couch game. Jesse.
What support?
Hey everybody, my name is Juan Wilbur. Unfortunately, Jesse couldn't be here today because he went back home, so he has given me the honor of presenting. I am the Scrum Master of this semester's Greenlight game, Couch Game.
Remember when games didn't have online multiplayer and forced you to interact with another human being in person? The games that you and your friends competed against each other and the winner got bragging rights the rest of the day.
Next round. Next round.
Welcome to Couch Game! A game which a max of 4 players can compete against each other in a gladiator brawl arena, filled with crates, explosions, cartoon humor, deadly environments that can change any game, and I think I forgot to mention crates! Grab your friends, family, neighbors, and even your cat and play Couch Game!
So, Couch Game is a local multiplayer battle arena where players can throw crates at each other while dodging environmental hazards. The game is related to old school games such as Crash Bandicoot and Spyro because of its cartoon humor, style, and simple game mechanics. So, last year for Greenlight Game Jam, our team, decided to make a game that was competitive, simple, and easy to play. And this is what we came up with on your left. At the end of the Game Jam, we've won multiple awards such as Most Fun and Best Art.
With such high response, we decided to go to Greenlight. This semester, we put together 4 characters. We put together 4 characters, 2 of which are animated using motion capture, 2 crates, 2 levels, and we finished our core mechanics. As you can see on the nice little flowchart, everything in the red is what we are currently working on. The green is completed. The white is what we plan to work on next. Here's some of the content that our artists and concept artists have come up with. We have a couple of crates, so new special crates on the way. We have a costume for the Hercules beetle, a 14th century Black Plague level, and a concept for a floating island level. Our next big milestone is to focus on finishing our jungle level. Then after that, starting up our Coliseum level. We also intend to put in 2 to 3 more special crates, finishing all of our character animations, and a touch on our game flow. What we are looking for are artists that excel in 3D art, keyframing animation, and texturing. Last but not least, programmers. Programmers that are familiar with Unity C#. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Yeah,
we found our program.
All right, Mike, come on down.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Michael Mansfield, project lead of This Damned Adventure. All right, so what is the concept? It is an action RPG parody game. You will be playing as a knight, either a man or a woman. They are a brother and sister team, and you choose your character at the very beginning. There's a very satirical humor style to this game. It's very meta and aware of the fact that it is in fact a game. It's going to be making a lot of jokes related to the RPG genre in general. A whole lot of very characteristic characters who are literally just exactly what sort of tropes you would expect from these kinds of games. And they're very aware of that. The gameplay is a 3D plane in which you control your character and you fight some action. There's spells, melee combat, all that kind of stuff. What makes this very unique is the souls system that is implemented that replaces health, mana, and money. In a typical game, you would have a health bar, a mana bar, and some sort of thing to show your gold or your money or whatever it's going to be. In this game, that's all thrown out the window, and you're left with one single system known as the souls system. This represents your health, your magic, and your money. So every time you take a hit, you lose some of this soul value. Every time you cast a spell, you lose some of it, and every time you buy something, you lose some of it. However, every enemy you kill and completing certain quests can reward you with more souls. This forces you to use strategy. Forces you to use strategy with every interaction and engagement with enemies. You're not going to just run into things and start attacking wildly, because every time you get hit, that's not only less health, it's also less money and less magic. So, as I briefly mentioned before, for the story of this game, you play as a brother or a sister of 2 knights. One of them is killed by an evil king, and the other is exiled. And you then make a deal with an angel and a demon who give you magical powers at the cost of merging your life to the soul force, hence the gameplay mechanic. And this is where you now use your new powers to reclaim the kingdom from the evil king and resurrect your now deceased sibling. The art style is heavily influenced by the Paper Mario series. It's a very bright colored and vibrant, where the characters are all very animated and their faces are very expressive, and you really get to see a lot of emotion in the characters. The world design is going to be these sort of little box type things, where there's a lot of larger 3D but very simple low polygon objects, and all the foreground characters and some background objects are all going to be 2D planes that then exist on this. They look sort of like papercraft in the end. And that's this sort of art style that really works well with the lighthearted comedy of this game. As you can see in the upper left, that's actually one of our concept arts for an enemy seal. They are one of the enemies from the ice zone of the game. So why choose this damned adventure? The art style for this one is very unique. You don't see a lot of games through the Greenlight. Happy Skies is doing something similar to it, but other than that, a lot of them tend to stick to other art styles, usually darker or more realistic in tone. So it's very different from what you usually see here. The gameplay elements with the Souls system and the RPG parody are definitely a lot different than things you see from here a lot, so it's definitely very unique in that way. This game is ready to go here. We've got all the pre-production stuff done. We're just ready to start moving on. So what we're looking for here, namely, we want programmers. I am not a programmer, so system design is kind of difficult. So definitely 2 programmers would be very nice to have on this project. We also need artists and animators. 1 or 2 would be enough for that, especially for this first bit. We don't need to focus too heavily on the art, but definitely want some of it. And level designers, I could probably use 1, maybe 2, to help with design of the levels and quests, and that would be about it. Thank you for your consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Osborne. Most of you may know me as Ozzy. With me is my partner Stephen Crane. And our game that we're trying to pitch is Battleground Legacy, a turn-based digital trading card game.
So what we already have a playable game. We have the physical copy. It's a SIP project. So this semester and last semester we've been working on it, and we have, as I've begun passing out, 2 playable deck prototypes. They're completely playable. If you want to try them out, talk to Ozzy later. He'll have both of them, so you can kind of try them out with him.
Mm-hmm.
We also have some physical device aspects. Being part of SIP, we've kind of been dabbling in many different things. So we have like some hologram application where the avatars can be represented through a phone and a little mirror device. But yeah, we already have this game. It's fully functional. What we're looking to do is digitalize it. So in our game, we have easy-to-follow documentation. We have 12 decks. 2 are currently printed, and we have the full mechanic set. Like I said, it's a game that's currently built in the physical world, and we are looking to digitalize it. So we also have easy-to-follow card formats. All in PSDs based on deck type. So if you're going to edit something, all you have to do is pull up a deck PSD and go in and take care of it. We have 5 different card types. We have avatars, we have creatures, we have equipments, we have inventory, and we have stockpiles. It's real cut and dry. It's your classic trading card, competitive card game, but with competitive twists where it's a little bit more based on creating a fair playing field. It takes out the first turn advantage so that everybody has the same opportunity to win the battle, not just due to I went first because I won a dice roll. What we need artists. As you can see, all of our art except for our card back is placeholder art. Caleb was nice enough to come up with our background or our card backs. But that is it. That's all we have that's actually our own art. Everything else is just kind of a placeholder to make it look as nice as possible. So we really need artists. And we need 1 or 2 programmers. We don't need much. we're going to be programming in Cockatiel, which is
Cockatrice.
Cockatrice. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Which is a
Open source Magic card game editor. So right now, what it's basically made for is for Magic the Gathering. But since it's open sourced, a lot of people have gone in there and edited it so that way they could play their own card games or play older card games. So that's what we're going to do. It's already set up so it has client-to-client interfaces and stuff like that. So we're just going to edit it so that way we can play our card game on top, and then from there moving forward.
And then what we want specifically from our artists is people that can do landscapes, that they can do items, equipment, creatures, or leaders. We need the card background art, and we need kind of the pinnacle focus of the card art as well.
So 2D artists and concept artists. We need about, I would say, three or four of those, and that would be very sufficient.
What our goals for the semester is getting a playable vertical slice of the game. That includes just the core mechanics and 2 playable decks. We're just trying to get the kind of core features out of the way, make sure that it's playable by the end of next semester. Then for art, we're looking to have 2 completed decks. Honestly, that's not asking for a whole lot. We have fairly small deck sizes. So if we can get more than 2 decks, it's very feasible that we could, but we strictly want the 2 decks at the very minimum. And then to public play test for feedback. We've started doing some of that this semester. We've gotten a very positive reaction to it. We want to continue that so we can continue iterating on our decks themselves. And then our end goal is to have not only the complete physical game, but the complete digital game, which is why we're here today. And then completed art for all 12 decks. This is something that we're looking at making a 2-semester kind of project, where the first semester is just getting that vertical slice, and then the next semester is just pumping out content and completing the game as a whole. And that is it.
That's the cards. They're getting passed around.
Passed around? Okay.
Yeah, Bryce, come on down.
I'll never see those again.
Bryce Christabel. For impact.
Well, Bryce is just playing a video. He recorded a
Alright.
video last night.
Let's see if I can find that.
I told him to do that because he had to work today. So I said, well, if you want to pitch, then make a video.
Okay, so we can find that for him.
I do things. I've done something before, once.
See, that's like being a designer.
Wow. Did you just knock on designers?
There are a lot of us in here, you know.
I just think, yeah.
Some of you are good at making videos, some of you aren't.
All right. Project called Impact. Do you know something about this? Do you want to intro it?
Yes, Matt. Do an intro for us, please.
Come on up, Matt.
Come on up, Matt. All right.
All right, give me that.
It's not my game, obviously. I know that Bryce has been working on this concept for multiple semesters. He actually approached me last semester about it initially. He's talked to some of the other game design teachers about it. He wants to create basically a car combat / racing hybrid game, as you can see on the screen there. He has been putting a ton of work into it. In fact, last Game Jam, he created a prototype for it. And then yesterday, he was all freaking out because he's like, I really want to pitch it, but I have to work. They called me into work. So I told him, we'll put together a video, set it up, and that's actually what he did. So I've already watched the video. He starts off by explaining the game itself and then has a demo. The audio at the end, where he's doing the demo, is actually kind of bad. I don't know if he realized that the game audio is like over his own voice. So we might be able to put it down. But otherwise, he's got this information here. So.
All right, thank you, Matt. Here we go.
Combat Racing Hybrid. Impact is a racing game that involves 4 teams of 6 racing in opposite directions, aiming to take out the opponents of the other teams to better the place of the player's team. Players utilize different skills and playstyles to earn points for their team in order to win a series of races and arenas. Inspirations for this game came from Destruction Derby 64 on the N64 for its head-on gameplay and collision physics,
San Francisco Rush 1, 2, and 2049, but mostly from the last two for the stunt track and the style of which the cars are designed. Vigilante 8 and Vigilante 8 Second Offense for the mechanics and the functionality of the weapons and some of the design of the weapons. And Twisted Metal for that functionality of the car combat arenas in general. Although the game that I plan on making isn't as morbid or dark. Generally speaking of the game, the car combat and the racing scenarios and the arenas are the core of the game. Sometimes they can be broken up though with the stunt tracks, which help give a little bit of versatility to the game and give some levity too. Otherwise, it will fall into that trap of like Twisted Metal, becoming dark and morbid. Also focusing on a local multiplayer instead of an online multiplayer to help tone down the scope. And there is SIP potential in this game, using the team focus mechanics, which I'll go into next slide. The SIP potential is, like I mentioned, with the team mechanics, and I'll let this be here for a little bit so you guys can read it, but otherwise, moving on. Some screenshots from the game. This is the main menu, first draft. And on the last game jam, this is a alpha stage that I was working on to demonstrate a sprint track. If you have any questions, I can be reached at brychris@uat.edu. That's BRYCHRIS@uat.edu. Those pictures are actually some models that I had created for the game. Now please stand by for a demo. Alright, this is a demo that was a final form for the last game jam a couple weeks ago. There are 4 tracks available, one's the alpha stage, and the other 3 are mostly completed. For this demonstration, I'll be only showing the one, the AI, and briefly showing the other. First place we're going to go to is Lanes of Wrath, which is the AI. Now, all 3 weapons do have full functionality, and they're mapped according to the weapons on the table. So the rough mouse is unguided, which the AI off. The AI does fire on track and will fire at the player as you run here and just drone past it. These maps offer wider areas on the road, which allow players to move around and attempt to dodge immediate incoming fire. Reset here. And show that you can go the other direction. We're going to head on collision element and attempt to try to take it out as quickly as possible. Something that needs to be worked on for this game is the physics, or once you get airborne, is the lever system. So that's something that we really need to work on this semester, and our assets is something else that we need for getting rid of the basic frame that came with the other. Oh, there he goes. So I missed him, but that's kind of the idea. There's a gas jar. So, on the map. This is the stunt map. I will avoid actually taking the stunts. Just do a quick loop around. Tricks like this, like wall riding and taking random ramps. Will grant you points. Those points will go towards the team at the end of the time limit. As simple as that. Something like that would be considered straight. Landed it. And there is the combat arenas, where all the players are forced into the center of the map to take on each other using their weapons or something random. And then the other form of race is the sprint. Now this is the alpha stage one, so there's no texture, so no materials in the moment, but Sprints will rely more on that roller coaster feel rather than the racetrack. But the land moves around and it's a little bit more open. Thank you for watching. This is Bryce Piscifoli on the project for Impact. I hope you guys enjoyed the demo, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say on the project. Thank you for your time.
Fantastic. All right, so based on what we saw, he needs 3D artists, both for the rigid surface modeling as well as the environment modeling. He also needs programmers to work on those physics, so and probably designers for those levels. So we'll take that into consideration. Don't leave yet. We're going to do team photos next, but first let's give everybody another round of applause. Excellent pictures today. Woo! I really look forward to that event tonight where we can actually see and play test the projects that have been worked on this semester. So Mirrored, we'll start with you. Come on down. Make a nice tight group right here. Lauren, take your position. Let's get the team photos out of the way. Then we're going to release for lunch as we deliberate. We'll come back with some certificates after lunch. And then the final announcement by our fearless leader, Derek Clark.
What background should we do?
Braver than
yeah. Now, I think the bright, yeah, absolutely. Do what you need to do. I think we'll probably turn up the spots here.
So Kyrie just came.
Yeah.
He said that he had trouble with his family, and that's why he was like late possessing. He's going to be trying to handle it, but he said he still wants to do it. So he's just right there.
Kyrie, come on up. Do you want to give a private pitch today, or do you want to go ahead and do that publicly?
I can. It's on Google Drive.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay. We'll get the team photos out of the way, and then we'll do your pitch before we release. All right, places quickly. Let's get it knocked out. Our photographer needs to leave. Go ahead and tighten up right here. Yeah, it's the spotlights. It's on the right hand side. Do you want to turn off the spotlights, sir?
We'll go on top. And so I can come back on lunch. 1?
Yeah, 1 o'clock. It's probably too hot. Yeah. Now, everybody on the team. You want black?
Hey everyone, I'm Ben Popes.
Hey, Ben Pope.
That's a good idea. I want that elementary school where you have the whole class of these two. I'll ask the students what they want to do.
Dan, you want to
Try to get them to get in contact. Keep in mind that I might be able to get you some more.
Yeah, I'm sure Brandon would help.
Well, he's in that. So I don't feel like he needs to do that. But maybe he can get someone else to help him also. So that he's not able to serve. Well, then again, David's also in my class too, so I suppose maybe that's what they're going to do. I'm both going to work on that. But yeah, maybe if I can get a third person, the best thing is I'm trying to look at any project, see how much kind of work you guys need. So we can get some, okay, yeah, real art. Because this is their portfolio. I want them to build some really amazing stuff. And it just helps you guys at the same time.
signal. That's what Brandon did.
When I grow my hair out, I just go into
All right. Yeah, I'll do that then. I'll talk to them. I know obviously you'll probably then have David and Brandon. I probably would have wanted to play with you. Yeah. Like I said, having another environment artist is much cheaper than Brandon. Sounds good. I just want to know which teams need artists and see if I can kind of relate that better. So I was kind of like, I don't know, but after watching this, it's like that party area on the airplane that they give you like a space in a crossroad. Wow. Stranger I've never met. You on the same flight as me? So you said your art style. You guys have a guide. Art style guide now. I wonder, that's how I'm okay. Alright, so we should do after the final.
Alright, Deadly Swarm. Thank you.
Oh, I know how we can vote. I tweeted each one's pictures and stuff, right? Whichever one's getting the most views is what we're going for.
Yeah, I cheat and use my channel.
Go instantly.
Yes.
I know how to do it.
Who's the highest rated? Also, the ones that
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my introduction one has the highest.
I'm good at rigging them, but I
as the highest right
sorry. It's not you. Oh no, don't do that.
It's all down. I got so many people reading my things, but it's not consistent. One of them, especially close to 7 or 8
I've noticed that
Next semester's consistent.
The game dev hashtag is pretty good. I've got a few robots now that I must be on one of their lists or something because I tweet, no matter what it is, it's just instantly. It's not hashtag dependent. It's not anything like that. John trying to have something. It's like there's a guy named I'll be in the center. I go to work. We go to lunch now, right? Lunch.
Come back by 1 guys. Yeah. I don't know where you guys' stuff is.
It's alright, it's on my flash drive. No,
There's this pizza place over there.
Great idea.
We have to shoot
I'm gonna lose either way. You must be. Bring it in, Crimson. You guys have matching t-shirts.
What? Yeah, do you want to take a look?
Someone give me a few quarters.
This is good.
Make sure you don't get
I got it.
Kenny on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Just Photoshop someone else.
Jake on 3. 1, 2, 3. Jillian on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ethan on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Serious ones, guys.
Mortal Coil, you're on deck.
I'm saying, I mean, get the free stuff. We're gonna get it. Just make sure you guys have I just wanted to get, like, you guys understanding that presentation.
Yeah. Maybe. No.
I expect you guys to do that so that if student wants to do that first one, get it out of the way. And then just have that interaction.
Where are you guys' cool shirts at?
Bring it in here.
Producer, Mr. White T-shirt.
White t-shirt there.
Haynes this way. That's what I want to do. Either the Gator thing or to make it sure you can. Portal, like, you know, it's like a pass out. You're like this. You can have talks about it.
Guys, bring it up. I have 15. Whoa, what? These guys put on a nice background on the happy face. Look like put on your head in the skies.
We should all blow bubbles.
Yes, my thank you.
All right, bring it in. Sit down. Touch each other.
So like, what's the reason why you're talking about
Yes, that was exactly it. Yeah, either that or the only time not really input by yes, because it has to be one more in the back.
He deserves it. What did he do?
That's what I
I actually walk in the next one, so, and then I will read the names of all the grad students.
First thing we do is tear each other down for 15 minutes. Very important.
Yes. They call that a parakeet. That was terrible.
Yeah. Hey, you just kept putting fuel in the fire.
We're in this for like no. I'm tiny. Does that mean I got
Yeah, we'll just do this one.
Put you in the front. Front and center. The focal point.
Hey, she has to stand sideways like this. Oh, yeah, these are, I think they're going to maybe. Let's see if this gets rid of the fire.
Nobody use
That is an odd looking groove.
Wow.
There's a lot of weirdness there.
At least it's not as weird as your face.
Well, I know who's not getting rid of it. Yeah. I know which project we're cutting now. It's an easy decision.
Wait, but I said it, and I don't have production next semester. Take it out, Harlan.
Okay, attention please. Get a photograph. Say
Harlan does have best hair going for him, though. I respect that.
Tony's a close second.
Okay, we're on the
Close
second,
the
best hair.
Derek, if you're gonna punch something.
Derek's gonna punch anybody.
I mean, you can't say that you spent like 15 minutes trying to beat each other, jabbing at each other. Just not taking it. We're gonna say so.
Maybe. I'm not the one pitching it.
And then Patty, if you're filling up your pitch, just leave it at Couch games on deck.
Whoa.
Of course not.
That was assault, I believe. Really? That's assault? So when you do it to me, it's just, it's caring and love.
Really?
You really do sound like my father.
Oh, yeah, you know, that's
I think him and Eric are going to be fast friends. I believe it.
How come you didn't pitch, dude?
I still am. I had some family issues yesterday. That's why I was late. For some reason, it's not letting me sign in. So
It doesn't like you.
I know, right? See,
Signed in on the other things.
this is incognito. I mean,
Google has decided it's not
I got you, Doug.
This is kind of.
We're letting Google pick which project we're going to run. Sorry, Google doesn't like it.
Cool.
Wow.
Tried to sign in.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, all right.
I'm very sorry about that. It's very weird. I don't know why.
There we go. All right, that's better. Oops.
It would be fun to do a Twitter poll that is an audience choice. That might be something like because after you're like, yeah, talking to them. And it could be that we come up with like 20 ideas because it was the day before. That might, because if we got ahead of that advertising, it could be something. No, I mean for you know, to find you want to see. I think George should take this one. I think George should. So you have 2 free posters now.
We'll do one badass one.
These aren't different posters for your bag. Poster for a silly bag.
Yeah,
I get it back. I'm on a panel. It takes 3 but I need one for my wife. But you want your older I get a pass for my wife needs a pass. So you can come in over here. Alright.
Yeah, so like someone is here, you get like kind of tight legs.
It might be a can support that. It needs some sort of background. Yeah, how much is the one thing that was kind of like almost got it? That would be hard to find.
I got you.
Couch game, you're up. How are you hanging out?
Can't smell.
Yeah.
Tall people in the front, short people that rise. And you, this would be great. 1 o'clock.
Okay, so you are gonna choose.
No.
What are you doing?
Trying to look for this damn thing.
Island Survivor, you're on deck.
We don't have the one with the rhino and this is couch game.
You want to put it there or put it here?
No, just go into the drive.
Okay.
It works like that. It's actually
You can,
Do that one.
if you want. It's either that or that.
We're gonna do
those
that.
two. Oh, yes, I did.
Jeez.
that couch
couch game one. The first one was a little higher up.
Photoshop a glam shot of Price.
One second.
Last night I said it was
Bryce gave me a prison picture. Like stone face with camera. And this guy gives me like
I was already
the French model.
Glamour shots.
Which one did you say?
Did you see a lot of good games?
No, not that one.
I was already taking a picture for
graduation.
Alright.
So it was just like.
Or you just sit it there, I guess?
Right after I was done.
Does that work, or do you want something else? From the presentation? Yeah, just put it up.
I said multiple. All right, now pals.
Now pal.
Like thanks for your presentation. Like,
you got cards with dials.
Good?
I certainly like played it in like
What do you want?
Play them cards.
You got hit by pause.
Okay.
Remember games now.
I remember.
I remember nothing.
Down here.
Ruined games, you know, you used to go right there. Take your hats off. You're covering the eyes. I keep my wig on.
Press play.
What the heck?
It's lying to you.
Against each other, the winner got bragging rights the rest of the day.
You should leave it there as a tribute for the ones who weren't here.
I would.
Like, yeah, this is just as info. There we go. Nice.
I would.
and
I use Sam.
Perfect.
Cool. I'd be stupid. And honestly, I didn't want to look stupid in my presentation. I didn't care.
I got a Comic-Con picture of Jesse. Can't beat that.
Damn. I should try. You should let me know.
You'll get to see it. We're gonna be here till 8.
Are we? Is it mandatory?
Well, I don't know about that. Well, I have to be here till 8.
I'll come.
And I need the station here till 8.
I'll leave my computer on. After we're done this, I'm gonna walk home. Cool. I got pizza waiting.
Well, fuck you.
You're just
My favorite part is he doesn't feel the need to read his back.
Not like there's a guy behind him.
It's like a tiny
Oh, some dog food. He wants real food, like pizza.
No, he's too fat for that.
Too fat.
You can never be too fat for pizza.
The doctor tells you.
Oh, God.
Alright, back
Sit
by
down.
one, guys. See you later, guys.
Yeah, I should probably. We have one more. We can stand behind you.
Oh, do it?
Voldemort's.
Oh, that's right. You're freaking high. You can't come on time.
Somebody.
Somebody
of them doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle and can't ride.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually ride a motorcycle.
He
just has a helmet. He just carries it. I know this. I've never actually seen him on a motorcycle.
I know. He comes in with his helmet. I'm like, cool, dude. Do you model that?
He puts it on. He puts it on. Puts on his rollerblades and rollerblades right up the street.
I don't know. I'm trying. Oh, crap.
Did you forget to pause it?
No, I was trying to get the stuff away, but it's not going away.
I'll be in the quarter getting this for class. I'll be lazy for that animation class. Animation studio.
Oh, they almost match. Yeah, they almost survived.
Did you do the writer?
I want to say thank you for the substance and everything.
I didn't realize that.
Alright, quick treasure.
I'm still trying to get it to having this stuff.
Did you give me a happy cut?
Did you give him a mic? I need to know. Did you give him a mic?
Cortez.
Well, familia.
Probably take it. I walked around this morning and I was tempted. I ate
image? How do I don't need just the credits image because it doesn't have the words on it. Where's the presentation? Can I look at just stuff in this? Probably be. Oh, I posted it last week, so.
Outside of that, it's like officially start teaching in a class. If you want to do that, it's cool. We're not officially. But I do encourage students to go here.
Where is it?
On the ways back. You guys shut down the entire team. It's a significant number of points. People were all pissy about it. Now, if you do that, I'll do that.
That works, sort of. Not what I had it. No.
No, I know.
No. Then went back to the leads. Where's Cortez family again? No, that's not it. But I'll need that anyway.
Yeah. Keep it up. I'm reviewing games up to 12:10. After 12:18.
What the?
What is Slack? And done. Hi, my name is Kyrie, and done. All right.
How do I search?
Hello, I'm Kyrie. I need one person to wake me up in the morning. One person to feed me. One person to feed me. That'd be a pretty good plan.
Right? Actually, I'm a pitch for that.
One person to get credit for the production class. One person to remind me what 10:30 means. One person to walk behind me while I'm rollerblading and making motorcycle moves.
Okay, let's make this a lot easier.
Like the coconut guy in the old bit. Wow. And whenever he skates past somebody who's walking, he's got to make a noise.
Where's the water?
Does he go by?
I love the minstrel. Maybe you can have like a musician also along with you.
Oh, I still want to hire somebody to sing songs about me as I walk around the building. That would be awesome.
As long as they're flattering songs, right?
Right. Yeah, totally unflattering songs.
I would hire like a saxophone guy.
I need I need Sir Robin's minstrel. Great Sir Robin ran away.
Especially on Stick of the Violin.
What's that guy? The jazz? What's that guy?
Yeah, the saxophone guy.
Yeah.
Sexy sax.
I want to hire a get on up guy that just follows
Hey guys,
me around and
welcome to
everybody wonders what he's doing. And he does absolutely nothing.
Today
Until
we're
I say,
gonna
get up, Bob. And he says, get on up. Get up, Bob. That's the only thing he does.
That's it.
If I'm ever a multimillionaire, I'm hiring him. It's his entire job is just to follow me around.
There we go. Finally, that works.
How do I full screen that?
Build it up, full screen.
F11. Where?
All right.
No.
Get in there. Turn that thing off down there.
Turn your thing off. The thing. Do it.
Get your thing out of there.
What's with the thing?
Yeah, that's perfect.
You guys are the Cortez family.
Two
Bearded dudes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Give him a little more room so you can see the name.
That should be like an old English.
Come on, Captain Morgan it.
Right.
Yeah. I know Tony wants to get in the picture.
Yeah, I'm trying
Please.
to.
Two big white dudes with beards called the Cortez family.
Me too.
Monster. I'll have this picture on my phone, and a couple years later, they're like, "What is that?
Who the hell are these Cortez brothers? They do not look like the Cortez family.
Where's the DEA will be doing a search of phones looking for the Cortez cartel, and they'll find the pictures of us. There'll be a knock on my door. We have reason to believe that you're running Colombia's largest cartel.
Kyrie, come on out.
Ooh, tough room.
I know, right?
Oh, so Kyrie's up. All right, let's go get some food, guys. Just go ahead, Kyrie. We'll see you later.
Be back after these messages.
Don't worry, it's recorded. We'll watch it. We might or might not watch it later.
May or may not. It's okay. Just like, we'll think about it. All right. Oh wait, that's not the right one. Here we go.
So, Kyrie's game, Walmart's.
Yeah, it's called Walmart's.
This is actually cool.
It's just a bunch of old people greeting the world.
How are you doing?
A big box store MMO.
Welcome to World Walmart.
Let's see if you're still recording here.
Wait, isn't that what Ascendance was?
Yep, still recording. Alright, you're good to go.
Okay.
We recorded all of the picture taking. That's quality YouTube.
This is World of Marts. Yeah.
Don't move it yet.
Alright. As a new lead, I had a lot of challenges with World of Marts, but I think I rose to the occasion. Learning Axosoft and everything actually helped, like when I actually got the hang of it. So I think it actually helped me get the team focused, get the team in the right position in order to continue our progress more efficiently and more effective. We had a lot of trial and errors when we was doing this game. We went from paper map to paper map, as well as redoing the entire pre-production, but that also came out as a good thing. Like, we actually, by me talking to the team more and getting their ideas bounced back off me, it actually helped us progress a lot better. Getting fresh minds on my idea, it actually benefited us. The game itself, it combines different genres like StarCraft, God of War, Mortal Kombat, and Xenoverse. It's bringing all those games together. So it's pitting deception, strategy, fighting, different types of mechanics together into one game to survive. The goal for the game is to make it the best friendship killer, or the next best friendship killer game, like Smash Bros, Mario Party, or Mario Kart. So yeah. So far we have 2 to 3 models. The third one isn't textured yet, but these are the models that we have, our character models at least. We also have 2 levels in the game, which are one is currently being texturized. This is the first one, the forest level. It's completely done. The collision and everything is good. All the environment is good. We have the particle effects working properly. The only thing we don't have is the enemy spawns during day to night. But we do have a blueprint that actually changes the enemies from day to night. So from daytime you get different enemies, and nighttime you have different enemies. So you'd have to strategize. You have to think about what you're doing before you actually act, as well as fighting the other players in the game. This is the city level. It's not currently done. This is the one that's currently being texturized and modeled still. The city level is also going to have a castle in the background that you will be able to interact with. You would be able to go inside. You would be able to do whatever you want, fight in there if you want to. But the base of the city, where the statue is, that's the focus point. So when the game is actually, or when this level is actually done, that will be what draws everybody in, the statue. And here is our progress so far. For our future goals is to actually include the animations along with our fighting. As you can see, we have hitbox and everything in there. We just don't have the actual animations in there yet. But our future goals include actually including the transformations with every character, also adding in new characters as well as more levels and more blueprints and things of that nature. And here is our contact info if you want to follow us or add us on Facebook or Twitter. Yeah.
What do you need? Character artists? You need a lot of crap ton of animators?
Yeah, we need modelers, animators, and programmers. That's what we really need.
So, how good is your art style guide information right now? Because next semester I have 15, 16 students in advanced environment creation. Okay. One of the environments, just like advanced level design, except they just do artwork, and they need to do art for a level. So I'm trying to find all the teams that are doing 3D and getting some of the artists at least to help you guys that way, so we don't have to have so many artists on the production team doing that.
Yeah.
One, raise your hand before you talk to her.
Yeah, we're in the middle of talking about the presentation, by the way.
Okay.
Two,
So, Kyrie, anyways.
Go ahead.
So, as far as your art style guide and all that stuff, do you guys have any of that stuff?
Our main art style is just kind of like Mortal Kombat.